there are always things that will test your faith and test your resolve in terms of trying to reach your goals and your achievements. And every once in a while, you have to sit back and evaluate how you're doing, how you're progressing on your journey. Sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it's not what you would want it to be. But then you also have to remember it's not always in your control. You just have to stay focused, stay diligent, and put in the effort, because it doesn't happen without all of those things. And, if you do it like you mean it, a lot of times it gets done. My name is Gary Fritz. I'm a musician from Brooklyn, New York. I own my own studio called the G Spot. I'm a percussionist by trade. I also do music production, and I also get credit for being one of the pioneers of the graffiti movement here in New York City.
What are you most grateful for in your life? I'm grateful for many things, including the fact that I've been lucky enough to meet interesting people. When I think back at my life so far, I treasure my friends and family and the good vibes that I've been able to spread and share with my band, the light and warmth that I've been a part of through my art and life in general, and I cherish the memories and life lessons from unique, dedicated, deep spiritual people, one-of-a-kind type people like Gary Fritz. Gary is my percussionist in Sina's Peace and Love band, but more than that, he's a friend and a mentor. He has led what I would call a beautiful life, a rich life full of ups and downs. Most importantly, he has dedicated his life to doing the thing that he thinks he is here for, which is music, sharing his gift of music. He's played with many greats such as Roberta Flack and George Benson, and he's also an avid supporter of smaller and bigger projects in his community. So what has it been like to be Gary? And what is it like to be Gary these days? I recently spent some time with him to find out, and I also got a chance to ask him a couple of questions.
Today, I got called to come check out a sound system at a friend of mine's church. They were having technical problems trying to get their audio together. So I went in to monitor and to check out what their system was and to make any recommendations for changes that might help them be self-sufficient. Hallelujah. Okay. All right, so that's coming through pretty decent. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. I got, that is who you are. Hallelujah. Waymaker, miracle worker, say waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. I got, that is who you are. You are here turning lives around. Starving. Are you hungry? Even though I'm a musician, I don't see myself as a musical artist, because my name is not the one you will normally see up in lights or on the tickets. I consider those people the artist. I'm a background musician, mostly, because people call me to help make their musical ideas come to fruition. So 9 times you may come in the building and see the entire show and never know who I was, which is fine by me. I'm starving. My only child, I had a daughter named Nneka Fritz, who was my best friend, my date night buddy, and my hang partner. She was the spitting image of me. Somebody I can't deny was my child because she looked just like me, except for the beard and mustache. But that was my bestie. When it came time to hang, she'd be like, "Yo, Dad, come on, let's go someplace." Or I would call her up and like, "What are you doing?" "Hey, I got blah, blah, blah. Let's go hang." And so we would hang. About 8 years ago, she was on a vacation trip with a traveling group called Nomadness Travel Tribe, which is a group of people of color who like to travel the world together. And we both left on the same day going opposite directions. She headed to Panama. I was headed to Phoenix to do audio for the Super Bowl. I got there and everything was good until I got a phone call from the embassy in Panama to tell me my daughter was in an accident and that she was no longer with us. She was in a fatal bus accident. Bus that she was in, or actually a van that she was in with some of the members of the group, went off a cliff, and there were 2 fatalities. My daughter was one of the 2 fatalities. I lost it, with her being my only child and my bestie. But it was really difficult, but she was sending me signs to let me know that she was there with me. I would tell them, look, stay faithful. If you have things that you do that can get you through moments, do those things. If you need to go jog around the park just so you could breathe again, go take that jog around the park. If it's, you need to shut the world out and go be in your quiet place for 2 days, go do that. If you need, like, I'm a drummer, if I'm feeling frustrated or I need, to get something out, I can come down and I can beat on some drums. I can just hit stuff until I release it. Whatever it is that helps you get to your place where you're centered, do it. Don't let nobody keep you from it. Get what it is you need out of those moments to help you, move forward. Like, to somebody who's a spiritual person, it might be go to church service. So it's not Sunday. You can find somebody who has a service on a Thursday if you need to be in a service or in a building like that just puts you in that type of vibe. Whatever it is, you have to figure it out what works for you and then pursue those things again like you mean it, as opposed to by accident. And a lot of times it was also remembering that my people are special. We have a special bond, a special who we are when it comes to, like, I consider my family somebody, and my people who have made all sorts of wonderful contributions, and we have a special energy on this planet where we're positive, we contribute. I believe that knowing that has allowed me to be reminded that I'm a part of that energy, and I got to continue to do what I'm doing, which is my place. The stuff that Gary Fritz does, only Gary Fritz can do it. And I'll say that about anybody whose name, like John Q, whatever his thing is, only John Q can provide that to the world. So you have to get that from them, nobody else. Music to me is a universal language. You may not be able to speak the same actual language, but music can portray emotions. It can portray colors. It can portray mood. And it can also allow you to speak somebody else's language from hearing them say it in whatever their native tongue is. And music could present it in a way that it's comfortable for people to accept. I think it's one of the most universal tools that we have that everybody's open to. It can bridge gaps. It can open doors. It could speak in different cultures. And you don't have to say a word. Just let the music do what music does. To interact with other musicians where you're making these special moments happen, there's a sort of a bit of magic in that connection, where if you're relating to somebody who's taking their lifetime to pursue their love for the same thing, whether it's on their specific instrument or a different instrument that you play, it's magical to create something, especially when it ends up being something beautiful. And it's something that usually has never been done before, because music is never normally played the same way twice. There's some sort of nuance that's different. So to be able to create in every one of those moments and have something special come out of it, there's not many mediums that will allow you to do that on a regular basis every time you do it. I know it's challenging. It's not a 9 to 5 where I know I'm putting in 40 hours and I'm going to get a certain amount of money each week. Sometimes, like you could be on the road where you're going and there's traffic.
Red light camera reported ahead.
But even though there's traffic, there's still other ways to get to your destination. Now, I've had to go through that a bunch. There were times where I had to completely abandon the vehicle I was in and find a new form of transportation to still get to my destination. But I was determined to get there, no matter what the obstacles were. And I'm still on that path because I kept my faith even, when the times were rough, even when it was really hard to keep my faith. I still knew that I had a purpose that I had to fulfill. And, I think I have a gift of music. And one of the things that drives me is the fact that if you don't use your gift, not only do you lose it, but you're also not being the best of who you can be. If my phone doesn't ring, I don't work, which means I don't do anything else. I don't put no food on my table, no gas in my tank, whatever. I had to kind of create my sources of income. So one of the things that I've accepted is the fact that every job that I'm doing is actually my next audition. Because if I don't do a good job on whatever job that I'm doing, that phone's not going to ring again. There are so many highs and lows. And then when things are on slow and it doesn't seem to be going your way, it could be depressing. It could make you want to go back out and get a 9 to 5. When like what you think is your dream could be like right beyond your reach. You can almost see it, almost reach it. It's just like, I just need to lean a little bit further to get to it. But you never know. The thing is, if you're passionate about it, you should do it because of that passion, no matter what people tell you, rather than be stuck in something that you'll be miserable at and that benefits somebody else, not you. My thing is, I'm doing what I love. This is what brings me joy. This is also my gift that God gave me in terms of my talent. And I'd be wasting it if I didn't use it to the maximum of my potential. So at least by taking the opportunity to try to do what I think He gave me this gift for, I'm fulfilling what I think is my destiny. And then, I have my own personal ideas of what my conception is for how I'd like to be and how I'd like my life to be. And if I can make those two join, as partners along the way and smile in the process, then I'm good.